Weather the Storm and Exhale Bounce, Fly Bounce, and Jump Jump 1.0.
Yeah, I don't really have like.
I was about to say, it didn't seem like your music would be. But sometimes there's like right at the end, like
it's one song that has like 2 cuss words and featuring somebody else.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't sing all that one.
Word. I appreciate it.
So all the ones that you have are actually clean.
Sweet.
You need to use my phone, let me know.
Tieshay Cheryl. My Twitter is respect the mic.
What is it?
Respect the mic _ respect the mic.
Okay.
If you need to use my phone, take pictures, let me know.
I will.
So when oh wait, you went to IUP or?
I did stay focused.
I didn't know that. When did you go there?
I got there spring of 2011.
I'm from Pittsburgh, so I'm like over on that side.
Yeah, I've been to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is quite
I went to the
different.
Lauren Hill concert. It was good.
Oh, really?
And my friend's brother over there, so we spent the New Year's out there. It's not like what's the peak or something?
The Point.
Yeah, that I love that spot. It's
really nice when they got the water running.
It's
It actually looks
I like
nice.
sitting up there at night.
Yeah, Mount Washington, you guys up on the perch, up on the hill, like looking down at the city. Yeah, that's one of the best places. Mount Washington, like that whole west side of Pittsburgh is really dope. But that's like within the city. Like once you go out, and it becomes very neighborhoody, you know, very suburbs and just regular people. But the city is still popping. Like the city, they're doing stuff in the city. It's cool. I respect it. So we'll just talk about kind of how you came into your music, how you discovered your talents, like what you were doing, like younger, you were playing the drums and stuff, you were doing some other things, like whatever, you know, sort of, I don't know, what made you and your sound what it is now? That's what we kind of start out talking about a little bit, and with some curveballs in between there depending on what happens. And then on like the second half, we have a chance to like kind of talk about what's next, how people can get a hold of your product and, you know, spread your message a little bit further. Rough album. And if you did anything crazy, like you fought a shark, or, you know, you used to be a professional weightlifter or something, like, let me know.
No, I just used to be an athlete. I didn't fight no sharks and actually box.
So you did fight some sharks.
All right. High five. We're cool.
Back up a little bit.
All right.
Outside of arm's length.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Right. Yes.
How much time we got left? This should be
About 30 seconds.
It's actually been a while since I've listened to this song.
Yeah. Let's go going back over your work. You have a really dope sound. I like it. Alright, here we go. Hey, welcome back. It's the Lounge right here on 96.1 FM, 900 on your AM dials as well. Congratulations to our ticket winners, by the way. You all took advantage of that very quickly, as you should. Our telephone number is 215-634-8065, but we will hold off on future comments for just a moment. Our musician of the week is here. Her name is Tieshay. Forgive me for pronouncing it wrong all show. Tieshay Cheryl is in the studio to my left. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome stuff. All right, so tell us all about you. Tieshay.
Yes.
I'm going to try and pronounce it right here. Tieshay Cheryl. You said the Cheryl name has to do something with your mom, too. Let's start there.
Yes, Cheryl is actually my mother's and my godmother's first name, spelled the exact same way. That's how I got my stage name, Tieshay Cheryl. I just tagged it.
Oh, so it's not like your middle name or anything?
No, it's my mother's name.
That's
my mother's.
dedication.
So my mother and my godmom, they had the exact same first name, spelled the exact same way. So when I first started, I was a spoken word artist pretty much. When I first started, I was just a spoken word artist, and I would just go by Tieshay. They'd be like, "What's your stage name?" I just play Tieshay. And then eventually, last year, I picked up Cheryl. And that's been my name ever since.
Very good. So last year isn't the year that you started doing music, right? Like you've been into this thing. You've had an interest for this for quite some time.
Yeah, I did. Like one of my first dreams was to be like a Beyonce.
Yes, yes. And you are on the way, girl. Yes.
I love Beyonce because she's just a phenomenal artist overall, like an overall great person, a great musician, and she just carries a great vibe. So I just always love music. I actually used to like secretly call into the radio. It was like an open mic. I can't remember what station it was, but it was one of the popular stations, like Power 99 or something. They would have an open mic every Sunday, and I would call in. And God willing, I would get through like 3 weeks straight, and I would do like my spoken word on air, but I wouldn't tell nobody.
Right.
I just call in and do it. It was like I was just on the radio. I just had my moment to myself.
Oh wow,
and
man, that's what's up. That is really dope. That is really dope. I don't know if anyone else knows that, but I'm going to count that as a lounge exclusive. We just found out right here. We got to go back in the tapes. People are going to be going back into the tapes of the radio station. We must find this. So what made you do that? Like out of all the people that like think about or dream about doing something like that, there's not a whole lot of people that actually do it.
I wanted to be heard. I just wanted people to hear what I had to say. My pen has been my best friend for a very, very long time. And the things I don't know how to say, like in normal conversation, I've always been able to express it creatively. So I feel like I had some stories that I could share, and I always believe that somebody's story can inspire someone else. And they may be in that moment, and maybe they may need those words. So I just called it and shared it.
Wow, awesome stuff. How old were you when that happened?
How old was I? I think I was definitely in high school, so between, teenage years.
Awesome stuff. So as you're getting older and you're kind of like, trying, seeing different things involved in your life, I mean, how did that transition into college and then kind of moving, past that too? Like, what was that like? Did you continue to pursue music? Was it easy to continue to pursue music, or did maybe you step away? What was that like?
I actually hid from music for a long time. I sang in the choir when I was in 9th grade. I was a vivid singer. I had solos and everything.
Right.
And my mom actually steered me away from music, like vocally. And that's when I just like really stuck to spoken word. But then when I got to college, like I would always like sing and write stuff behind closely by myself. Like even when I was like 9, me and my sister, we would write our own like gospel songs and have like singing sessions on Sundays, just be singing out our windows, and everybody on the block knew it was us. But when I got to college is when I got back into music expressively and let people hear me, hear my voice again. Because I was known on campus as the poetry girl. Anytime somebody would see me, they didn't know my name, but they'd be like, "Oh, you the poetry girl."
Was that cool? Was that good for you? Like, I know like there's some people that enjoy that type of fame, but not. Like, did you dig that? Like, people were like, "Oh yeah, you the one, right? Like, I don't necessarily know who you are, but I know who you are."
It made me feel good. It was confirmation because people knew that I would come out and speak, and I didn't just like speak on little things. I branded myself as the poetry girl, but I also branded myself as the one who always had something to say, as President Driscoll, who's the president of the university, would say every time he see me.
That's
like,
right.
He like, "I know you what else got something to say," but I would say, "Do you remember my name?" And then it came from that to him actually knowing my name. So it was more of a
So you were having conversations with the university president.
Yeah, we actually
no
sat
big
on,
deal,
we sat
right?
On, we sat
influencing
on panels
policy.
Together.
You all sat on panels together.
Yeah, I was very involved in my campus. I love my campus, but only the strong survive at IUP, especially black students. So there's a lot of issues that go on out there. So the way I express myself always was spoken word. So like they would have an event like Save Our Sons, I will probably be the spoken word artist speaking to express how I felt on the topic. I actually met Trayvon Martin's mother of IUP because of my reputation for my words being so powerful.
Yeah.
And I gave like the opening spoken word piece, and I got to speak with her, and she heard the piece that I gave. So that was like one of my
That's very powerful.
all-time favorite experiences.
Very powerful.
And what got me back into music is like, college days, you're out hanging out. I would always run into musicians, and I like talk trash to see what they say. And
just to test the waters a little bit.
Yeah, like I'm a rapper. I'm like, "Oh, I bet you my bars are better than yours. I'm a poet."
Oh.
And this guy I met one night, his name was Bruce Lee. We were actually very, really cool friends, very close. And I was on his mixtape.
Very cool.
I met him one night. He's like, "Yeah, whatever." And he started rapping. He's like, he was a spoken word artist. He's like, "Oh, I gotta get you on the tape." So I did the introduction on his mixtape for the spoken word. We also did a track together called Rap, which he's like, he's trying to pursue me, and I'm basically curving him. But at the end, he gets my phone number. So it was fun. That's what got me back into it.
Very cool. Very cool stuff. We're in the studio right now. She's our musician of the week, Tieshay Cheryl. And Blazing Trails right now. I really like that first song that we heard. What was the name of that first song that we heard?
Weather the Storm.
Weather the Storm. I really like the sound that you kind of bring in that too. It's like this unique sort of blend of, in ways that I think very few artists do this. Like a Common, every once in a while, will kind of do this as well. But like kind of that blend of, it's not totally spoken word. Like we're used to hearing spoken word kind of in its raw forms, more raw, generic forms. And then we have like, sort of the influences of hip hop, that we think of traditionally as hip hop. But rarely do they kind of come together in a space where I think people can really capture the energy behind what's going on there. And you've kind of lived within that space. Like it's almost like a combination of your college experience where you weren't doing music and maybe some other experiences where you were doing music. Now you have a little bit of both of them involved in it. Does a lot of your work follow that, like hip hop plus spoken word marriage that kind of happened with that?
Absolutely. I'm a big hip hop head. Like I love hip hop, but I love more so old school hip hop. I mean, I love certain modern day artists will get my attention, but I just love the sound of like old school hip hop because it carries such a fun vibration before they even start speaking, and like they're just telling stories over the beat. I actually like to go back to like music. Music. We used to have karaoke nights with my mom, and I will always pick the rapper. So I said that would always be my choice because it was just so much fun for me and I would like it. So that's why it's there because I love hip hop, but I love spoken word, and it kind of just naturally mushed itself, I guess. Definitely.
It's a beautiful thing when it comes together, because, I'm sure it wasn't necessarily intentional where you're sitting there thinking like, oh man, this is hip-hop and spoken word, let's put these things together, boom! Oftentimes it's organic, and I think that's kind of the beautiful thing about that, too. But going back to your college experience, so I wanted to ask you about, like, you had said that only the strong survive at IUP, especially, for the black students.
Absolutely.
Is it hard to like find like you don't have necessarily like what I would call an apologetic voice per se in these things? How was doing that in a space where there's mostly, because I'm from out there, okay, so I know some people. You know what I mean? I know what it's like. Hey, but was it hard to do that, or did you not really think about that?
For me, it wasn't hard for me to be myself because I came up in an environment where I could be myself. I have strong roots in Freedom School, so I was a scholar, I was a JSL, I was an intern, so like that really helped prepare me for that. I had strong roots in that, so when I got out there, it was more like trouble for them. Because I'm an outspoken person, and when I see something I'm passionate about, I'm an organizer. Like I shake stuff up. I actually started a campus org out there.
What's it called?
It's called the IUP Artistry Movement, which is a creative writing organization which uses our creativity for inspiration and advocacy. And our first event, we came out in Black History Month, and the event was called Black Lives Matter.
Hey, there you go.
It was a free event, and we had rehearsed for months and months and put it together. It was a storyline of spoken word and music to depict the struggles that black face in society today and in the past, and how we haven't come that far. It was a mixture of our ancestors like Langston Hughes, Tupac, Maya Angelou, with the artists that were in the org. It was our work all combined in the storyline.
Wow.
And that actually shook the entire campus up. My goal was to just like express a message, and it ended up shaking the entire campus up. We made the front page of the paper, the school paper, which like never has black faces, and ever since that day, the paper has been continuously having black faces on the cover.
You started a conversation.
Basically, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. You're out here moving and shaking. Absolutely, and claim that. Absolutely. I think it's important to ask, especially for experience questions. There's probably other black students who might be listening to this right now. Might be at a school like an IUP or something similar where they might have that, or might be going into that experience now, or kind of getting into the realm of that now, thinking, do I have to change something about who I am in order to adjust to what's going on here?
I would absolutely say no. You bring your culture to the campus. Like IUP is like a medium-sized campus, but you would think if you're a black student, you would think there's a lot of black students there because we all know each other. But there's not, because if I can sit in the classroom and still be the only black student, there's not a lot of us. But because we all know each other and we were able to take care of one another and be there for each other and basically ride for each other when things went down. We stuck together no matter what. Like all the leaders, we came together and we made it known that this was not going to be acceptable while we were here, but we didn't do it in a dangerous manner. We did it creatively, we did it socially, and we did it big.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You got a lot of people's attention. And it's not just about the attention, because when stuff like that happens and you end up making a paper, I mean, a lot of people like to say, hey, look, we're on the map. You know, we're on the map. But in addition to that, what you've done is you started out and sparked off so many conversations about that topic, if nothing more. If somebody reads the headlines and says, hey, what do you think about these black kids here in IUP? You know, there's a conversation started, right? Like, and that is extremely impactful when you can do that through any form of art or entertainment or a show or a program or a song. That's moving people, and that's real powerful. That is real powerful. Tieshay Cheryl, you move people. Okay?
I try.
Absolutely. Let's get to a quick commercial break. Coming back on the other side, we'll continue this. We'll talk about some things coming up for you, what's next, where people can get a hold of your music right now. And I'm going to ask you about some controversial, outspoken artists in the game right now, maybe where you think their place is too. So we'll do all that on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. More of The Lounge in just a moment.
This is Philadelphia, a city built on passion.
You don't have to know. This is mainly for me.
Is looking for passionate
Is
teachers,
this going
staff, and more.
or no?
Start your
Is this
career
on
with
or
the
not?
School District of Philadelphia.
I had no
Apply
idea.
online
Awesome.
at teachinphilly.com.
All right, good stuff, so far.
Love
I tried to
what
do
you
something.
love where you do it.
No, you had mentioned that you were doing it. I didn't know if
I was
it had finalized.
Song on the sheet.
presents a 3-day extravaganza highlighting the
And
rising
phonetics.
talent selected for its Jazz
Yeah, I
Residency
need
program
those
2018.
sometimes.
Beginning on Thursday, May 3rd, it's pianist.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this. Yeah, we're also streaming from here, just so you know.
Black Lives Matter,
Our-
drawing from personal
Oh.
run-ins with
Oh,
law
yeah.
enforcement and the music those incidents have inspired.
My bad, I didn't know
On
that was
Friday, May
happening.
4th,
For
Detroit
sure.
transplant and guitarist
We are up.
Quentin Weatherston creates an
So, yeah,
inclusive musical landscape
outspoken
similar to
artists.
his
You know I wanna
new
talk about
neighborhood
Kanye
in
West,
East Mount
right?
Airy.
I was listening before I got here. So I heard the conversation so far about the slaves.
Stuff to defend your mans. I mean, he's outspoken. I mean, he's not the only one that's outspoken though. Like, you mentioned,
Kanye West
like,
is smart though. He knows what to say to get attention, but he never steers the attention away from his ultimate goal. So I can't. Me personally, I can't help but respect him because he'll say some dumb stuff, but the dumb stuff will always ultimately lead to what his bigger goal is.
yeah, he gets it. It's interesting. I think we need artists like that to be kind of some of the creatives to at least, you know, ping us to the idea that we can be something better or bigger. You know what I mean? Like, there's sometimes, like, I don't know, I can't think of an analogy. Like, I just like the allegory of the cave. I don't know if people are familiar with that story. You had to read it in college. And it reminded me of this idea. It's like all these slaves who are all chained together and their necks are locked into place in a cave. And they're facing one direction. And they've always been like that their whole lives, the whole time they've been in prison or whatever else like that. And there's a fire that's behind them. And the fire casts shadows, you know, in front of them. So they can only see what's in front of them. And one of them finally gets the free will enough, I know something, he gets the free will enough to, like, leave. And he goes out the back. And it's open. Like, all he had to do was just walk out the entire time. And then so he goes back, and he tells the other slaves who are locked in a position, he's like, dude, this way, if you guys just turn your neck, or if you guys just free yourselves, you guys can walk out of this cave. And he's telling this to the guys, and they're like, get out of here. All we have ever seen are these shadows. Shadows will go right along with it. I'm going to stay right here. Thank you very much, sir, behind me. It seemingly has found freedom. And they refuse it. The guy is blown because he's like, we've been locked away our whole lives. Like, and you have an opportunity to move. And the people are so convinced that the prisoners rather, are so convinced that their reality is what's supposed to happen, that they never move. And it's just like, wow. What if Kanye is the guy that left and is now, like, waving back and saying, you don't have to leave in the same way that I did, but you all should definitely leave. You know, like, you guys should stop staring at the wall and believing that your shadow is your only reality, you know?
I definitely think he's on to something because, like, everything you're saying is what we're dealing with right now, especially with our youth, because I work with youth. And to see them, like, just be so programmed to be a certain way or think a certain way, it's like, there's so much more for you that you don't even understand.
You don't even realize what you're
You don't
missing.
even
Like,
understand,
it's
so.
crazy.
No, I hate when it does that.
Are you streaming it?
No, the only thing is it's on an email. Hold up. I have to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it didn't download as an MP3 on the computer.
No, that's what I thought. I was like, must not have downloaded. But what was I about to say? Yeah, sometimes like I feel like we're just not gonna be able to get there. We're not gonna be able to think of it, you know, unless somebody like shouts out and says, "Hey, there's a different way that you can do things. There's a different way you can think
It's
about
going to
things."
take a bridging of those gaps. Like, I think we have more gaps and generational gaps than we did when I was growing up. There's a gap between the youngers and myself, and then myself and the olders. Like, the gaps are just getting wider. The wider the gaps are, the more we can't see what's there. Because the knowledge is not being spread.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we know
You
things.
keep it within your own.
Right. So they know things that we don't know because they've been here longer, but we know things that they haven't experienced because the times have changed.
Yeah.
So when you bridge the gap, then you'll be able to see a full picture.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Like right now, Kanye's like over there, and we don't have a bridge to what Kanye is saying, so we just have to kind of like interpret it as it is. But you know, that could potentially be, you know, maybe the next step in this is like understanding how we can meet each other in the middle of like, all right, Kanye, you want some stuff over there, but you know, you making a point, and we're over here, so where can we
Meet halfway.
That'll be the location of the bridge. But, also, new stuff. What can people get right now? What can people get from you right now?
This song that's playing, I actually just released this on 420. It's on all platforms.
Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna promote that coming back, and then so anything upcoming that I can do, that I should tease or just go ahead to you.
Well, I have some songs that I have in a tuck.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't want to like say like, oh, tell us what's going on, and you're like, not right now.
I'm very open in my creativity because ultimately I have the power to control it. That's the power of being independent. You can't find it unless I give it to you.
Yeah.
So if I tell you, it doesn't matter. You can't find it unless I give it to you. So I'm very open to sharing.
Okay.
I've chosen the path to share, so I'm open to sharing. But,
Did you want to do something live too? I know I mentioned that in the email.
I can do something live. It doesn't matter. I'm
If
very
you have
open.
like a spoken word thing, or a freestyle or anything else like that, you're more than welcome.
Whichever you like.
I would like you to. If I have a say in this, then I vote yes. But yeah, if you're
Well,
not,
if you want me to do a song, a spoken word, I don't know.
either way, do you want us to put on a beat? We can do that, or we can just have it. You can just do a cappella, you can do a spoken word, or I don't know, whatever your thing is. Like that's totally up to you. We can make it happen.
I have a spoken word.
Spoken word.
I'm very culture driven, as you can see, but maybe not from this music, but I actually have a song called Son, which is dedicated to black boys, and I have all the nephews in my life,
Yeah.
and I've performed a lot, but I haven't shared it yet.
Come back, y'all. All right, here we go. Hey, welcome back. This is the Lounge right here on 96.1 FM, 900 on your AM dials as well. Got our musician of the week, Tieshay, right?
That's me.
Yes. I was hoping I was getting it right. Tieshay Cheryl is in the studio to my left. And we just heard, of course, that last. You can actually listen to that song right now. Exhale, Bounce.
It's actually called Breathe.
Breathe? That's what I
Yes.
meant to say. I mispronounced it.
It's,
Breathe. So you can check that out right now.
Yep, on all platforms, iTunes, Google Play, Tidal, whatever you stream your
Spotify?
music. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, good.
You can find that there. I also have another song up there called Rise, featuring Queen Yaz, dedicated to queens, black queens, melanated queens.
Yes. Oh, I see what you did there. Well, good stuff. And you can across all platforms, no matter what you got.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. All right, so definitely moving forward, like this creative process that we've talked about with you has been very interesting because we got a chance to see it in like different, we get to see how you've kind of progressed through different phases of your life, and that music progression, as we oftentimes look at artists like, okay, what are you going to do next? Or like, what's your next project or anything else like that? What's your creative process like in that instance? Do you think about that stuff a lot? Like, I got to constantly pump out units, of music or of stuff. Or do you think there's an expectation for you on that, in that level? Or do you think of your creativity and because you're independent, like, do you think of your creativity as when it comes, it'll come?
It's actually a mixture of both, but it can come every day because people ask me what my biggest inspiration is. I always say life. Life is what really inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have to do. I'm actually getting out of that mindset because when you force yourself to be in that mindset, you lose track of your mission. And I don't ever want to lose track of my mission because ultimately I want to inspire and motivate people to be their best selves and shine their best light. And ultimately I want to encourage the young impressionable minds of the black community that who they are is fine.
Yeah.
So if I pressure myself to just continuously put stuff out, I will lose my purpose, and I don't want to ever lose my purpose.
Okay, I can dig that, definitely. And like being young, it's so easy to do that though. It's so easy to be like, I need to hustle hard right now, and you got older people that are like, you all are young, you should never be tired. I cannot tell you how many times somebody has said that, like an older person has said that to me, like, you can't be tired, you're young. You do realize that we wear out too, right? Like, we bounce back a lot quicker, definitely, but we wear out too, and the effects of it are just as real. And sometimes it ain't always about just seeing how hard you can hustle. Like, you know, life brings out, and especially creatives, you get a chance to see a little bit closer of this side of life that isn't the constant hustle and the constant, like, push towards whatever the next thing is, you know, in life. And I think that's our advantage right now. We get a chance to figure it all out. Figure out how we can manage all the time. I think it's a brilliant thing. Yeah. Tieshay Cheryl, she's our musician of the week. What do you think? Because, you know, you were very outspoken as well. You had mentioned that you weren't afraid to be outspoken in those spaces. What do you think about some of the outspoken hip-hop artists of today? Do you think they... I'll keep Kanye in a separate conversation because he is in a world in and of his own. But as for just, you know, hip-hop artists right now, a lot of them are African-American. A lot of them represent underrepresented... Or a lot of them, you know, represent, you know, a race that is underrepresented in the country. Put it that way. Do you think that, you know, artists today, whether or not they're rappers, hip-hop artists, spoken word artists, otherwise, are outspoken enough to what's happening for today? Do you think that they find too much comfort in maybe their position, or are they doing a pretty good job at speaking out right now, in your opinion?
I think it's a balance of both, because there are a lot of artists who speak out continuously through their music, but they won't get the mainstream play.
Mm-hmm.
Like India Arie is one of my favorite artists, and she has a song called Breathe. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much talking about how our black men and black boys are being shot down, but it's never been on the radio. Mm-hmm. But it's a great song. It's a great song encouraging light and love to those people and expressing how she feels about continuously seeing us on the TV. Yeah. Then we have our J. Cole's and our Kendrick Lamar's. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, Jay-Z put out his 444 album. Mm-hmm. Those artists, but there are also artists who aren't on the mainstream who are still doing it and making those things happen. And then there are artists who are on the mainstream who just choose to live their life and have fun. Maybe like a little Uzi Vert, who just doesn't really care. He just wants to have fun.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it's a balance of both. But I feel like as long as we have those artists who choose to use their platform and their voice and their music to shed light on the issues that we face and to empower, that there will always be another. Because inspiration is contagious. Yeah, so absolutely. One does it, someone else do it. Like Tupac did it, so now we have a Kendrick. Mm-hmm. Kendrick did it, so who's next?
Right.
It's going to continue to flow. It may not be there in numbers, but it will always be there.
Word. And I can dig that too. I mean, there's sometimes a lot of expectation on these folks when something happens. Everybody's like, where's the rappers? They have plenty of money. And I think that's a little unfair. You know, first and foremost, but I do think that there are a lot more people out there in the industry or in the in the industry, let me put it that way, that care and that put money, time, effort into addressing some of these, you know, real world issues that we talk about every day. And yeah, maybe you're not Beyonce, because none of us except for Beyonce are Beyonce. But, you know, there are certainly folks that are giving serious parts of their time and their energy and their voice. Yeah, you were talking about sending a message. They're giving a significant portion of that, you know, to the world as well.
Absolutely.
And I like that.
T.I., he's a big person. I watched The Rapture, his episode where it was featuring T.I. He's actually, his mindset has been like, yeah, it's an awesome show. His mindset has been like, not that he's not always been aware, but he's taking himself to the next level of enlightenment where he's going around and sitting down with past activists to talk to them to see how he can use his platform to shed light on what's going on. He put his whole project on hold and put out a different project which specifically talked about that. So I thought that was admirable, and the fact that he did that, someone else would do it.
Somebody who's been through some stuff and who has made some mistakes, you know, I'm sure he'll say, let me not speak for him, but, you know, in his life, and, you know, again, like I said with Meek, I think a huge opportunity that these guys have whenever they've gone through something like that. To have as big and as influential a platform as you do, I'm not saying you have to do anything, but when you do use your platform, I think that's admirable. I think that we should note that.
Right. Spider-Man got one thing right. Great power comes great
responsibility. Thank you, Uncle Ben. We will never forget you. Our musician of the week, her name is Tieshay Cheryl. She is to the left in the studio. You can also check us out on Facebook Live. We're streaming right now. We get a little spoken word before we leave. Can we get a little preview, maybe, of something?
Absolutely. How much time do I have?
Okay. Let's, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, we got about 3.5 minutes here.
3.5 minutes. I'll do a spoken word. It's called Autism Speaks.
Okay.
It's basically what I think it feels like to be autistic.
Okay.
And it's called Autism Speaks.
Okay.
Our thirst for conformity has left us hungry for imagination. I do not thirst for your conformity into confinement. I may be trapped in my mind playing tennis with my thoughts, but at least I have imagination. I can only imagine what it feels like to create sentence fragments and be heard. I can only imagine what it sounds like for syllables to ricochet across my eardrums, creating a drum cadence to send sound waves to my brain to tell me that you're calling my name. I can only imagine what it feels like for our visual rays to make a connection, drooling me in your eyes and drowning me in your story. Your emotions are only visible to my blind side, so I'm sorry if I continuously reject them with silence. I'm an essential piece to the puzzle made with complexity. If you want to understand me, try using your imagination. Try imagine what it feels like to walk in my shoes. Try imagine what it feels like to scream and no one hears you. Try imagine what it feels like to have a heartbeat that pumps you up with hope, filling these empty vessels with dry tears that you've cried, hoping that one day you will blossom into a beautiful flower. I imagine today I will echo the word hello, and you will see me for me, and not the label to have price checked across my forehead, which reads autistic.
Wow. Very well done. Very well done. Indeed. Wow. That was incredible. I've never thought about a spoken word poem like that. Like, you really jumped into somebody else's mind and you told a perspective. That's incredible. That's really incredible. Great word.
Thank you.
Seriously. And we just missed Autism Awareness Month just by a day. But that was a great dedication, a great way to end it and wrap it up, I think, for sure. Tieshay Cheryl, what a pleasure. Thank you for swinging by the studio as well. As soon as you got something else out, the next project, or you just want to swing by the studio and say hello, please let us know. And you're more than welcome to return. One more time, if people want to check out more stuff from you or want to follow you online, where can they do that?
Well, first and foremost, you can find me on my website, which is www.tieshaycheryl.com. It's TIESHAYCHERYL.com. My Facebook and my Instagram are also Tieshay Cheryl. My Twitter is @_respect the mic with 2 T's, one for the end of respect and one for the start of the. And yeah, that's how you can find me on Tidal, Spotify, whatever you listen to. Everything,
stream those. Get those
everything
things.
comes up under Tieshay Cheryl. Please go check out my latest single, Breathe. It's something to think about. It's not about getting high. It's actually about seeking your ultimate elevation and how you elevate yourself. That's why it's called Breathe, because no matter what life puts you through, you got to remember to breathe.
I like it. I like it as well. Thanks again, Tieshay. And we'll talk to you again very soon.
Thank you.